It really hasn't yet, because this team is a combination of year one and year three. So at quarterback, it's the equivalent of year one. At middle linebacker, at Micah's spot, it's year one. At Quinn's spot, it's year one. For other spots, it's year three. And so I'm always going to frame it as year three, but the unique task I have is to get the year one positions caught up and performing like they're year three. And so, yeah, in some areas we can push the pace, maybe like year three. In other areas it looks or feels very similar to year one, and that's just part of the dynamic we have. Still looking to find our best 11, not only offensively but defensively. So we're going to take a look at a number of options with Tim Harris back. That gives us a little bit more flexibility between Juan and Joey Blunt. And so we'll find the best combination of linebackers and the best combination of defensive backs to form the best 11 players versus not only our in-state rival, the Coastal Division, but the ACC in general, right? So we're trying to find our best 11 versus all opponents to help our program progress.
How has Bryce been able to assimilate here? And has it a quick assimilation? Has he kind of risen to the top as one of the leaders naturally as well?
Talking Bryce Perkins?
Yes.
So Bryce, his intent was to be one of our team members, not the team member, and he's felt and expressed just how fortunate he thinks he is to be here. So I think when a player comes in and is looking to contribute rather than what they're going to get, it endears them to their teammates, and he's very talented. He's a really good person, but he also is wanting to earn his chance to be on the team before he is the team, and I think that's why he's kind of viewed the way he is.
You've never been on the field with him, at least as you were today. What observations do you have?
He's dynamic. He's fast. He's athletic. He's dynamic, and it does not seem like the game or the pace is too fast for him. Certainly, we're day one, but dynamic, fast, athletic, and poised would be the descriptors I would use. We hope to have him completely exhausted of potential and any way that we can possibly use him. So we like Alameda a lot, we like Joe Reed a lot, and so their roles were at different levels a year ago, but they both need to be elevated even more.
Is he the kind of receiver you were just talking about that could be that dynamic? That
well, time will tell. What we do know he can do is he's great at kick returns, and he's great when he gets the ball with some space in front of him. And so he hasn't yet proven that at the receiver spot, but we'd like to find out.
How much different physically is this roster from the one you had here 2 years ago?
Wow, that significantly different, not only physically but mentally. We played 17 first years this past year, which was the fourth most in college football, and that basically was our first recruiting class, was the 17s. So we're young, we're youthful, but this team only knows our culture, or those players only know our culture, our expectations. And so, yeah, it's different physically, but it's also, I would say, different from a mindset standpoint.
Alonzo came on for you at the end of last year. Obviously had some attrition at that position. What do you like about him, and what's the next step for him? Yeah,
we'd have more than attrition. So we lost 6 scholarship players at that spot, and so we're right on the verge of that being at a critical nature. I mean, we need young players to come in and play. We're still looking for grad transfers at that spot. Mandy would be, in terms of experience, we have basically Eli, who was experienced as a 2-year starter, and Mandy started a quarter of the games. And so we have basically a player and a quarter with experience at the defensive line. Good news is that Mandy did that at the end of the season and really performed well. And so he now is learning what the workload is like through an off season and spring, and again, durability and consistency and productivity. He has contributed and he's played some. That's completely different than being relied on to start an entire year, and so he's building his work capacity.
Who else can you look at? I know Curvin's sideline. Who else can you look at those spots?
So Richard Burney is one that we're considering. Tommy Christ is one that we're considering. James Trisilla is we're considering, and the rest will be the recruits coming in.
Do you use the Navy game as motivation, or do you just scrap it?
Oh no, it's not scrapped. It's it's absolutely motivation, and it's a game to be remembered because I think it has a chance to accelerate our program faster than what would have happened if we didn't have that game. It exposed existing weaknesses, even though we made it to postseason and even though we showed progress. Maintaining the edge, the maturity to do so, and the mindset and the execution in that setting against that team, those are all things that have to be marked off and checked off the box before we
So
accelerate.
you bring it up on occasion?
Probably every day.
Did you used to play more music at practice?
We used to play music.
What, okay, why don't you now?
We plan to make our own.
Oh, my.
I like it.